What up, y'all? Back here with another video, here to discuss the Sony movie game formula to you. And let this be known, this is my opinion. And with that being said, let's get into it. Movie games. What is a movie game? Movie games lack interaction, mixing cutscenes with gameplay to trick players into thinking they are doing certain actions, but in reality, they are watching many cutscenes during gameplay to artificially make their games more cinematic. Okay? Alright. So, when did they start making movie games, you say? The first movie game they made was The Order 1886. Some of the best graphics at the time, but very shallow gameplay. Repetitive boss fights made this game lackluster. Kinda reminds me of a game they made a few years ago called The Last of Us. Another movie game set in the zombie apocalypse. Every time you attack, you're watching scripted cutscenes, acting as gameplay. Now, Sony isn't the only ones making movie games, unfortunately. Capcom, new Resident Evil 4 remake, takes some of Sony's movie game formula, mixing cutscenes with gameplay when getting grabbed, and also in the new Separate Ways DLCs with Ada with her grappling hook, as you can execute enemies with her grappling hook by pressing X and zipping towards them. Spider-Man 2 suffers heavy from being a movie game with cutscenes lasting almost 3 seconds during gameplay. So that means every time you press X 3 times, you will be treated with a cutscene, making the game feel more cinematic, but taking interaction from the player. Plus, all superhero games are basically Assassin's Creed reskinned. Sorry to tell you. Okay, we got some examples of some movie games, but now what isn't a movie game, you ask me? Elden Ring is a perfect example of giving full control to the player. You have to dodge every attack. There's no press X, mini cutscenes during gameplay, or while fighting any boss in the game. There's no quick time events. Every action you do in Elden Ring is by the player. They can't keep making movie games over and over before the Sony fanboys wake up from being scammed all the time with remasters and remakes. Sony doesn't know how to make good games anymore, because even the VR games they created are tech demos that they're selling for $60. Like Call of the Mountain, a freaking walking, talking, I don't even think you talk in that game. You just climb mountains and kill things with a bow and arrow. Wow. They forgot how to make video games because they've been making movie games for so long. Alright, in conclusion, Sony hasn't made a good game in over 10 years. They have been making the same damn cinematic garbage that isn't replayable to sell you the game again remastered, but Sony is creatively bankrupt most of all.